If you guys do the delete, the neutral safety delete, you will leave the map in neutral. What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode on Proven Power Cycles. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Eric, and we got wheels over here, doing the wheels over there. Look at them go. Today we have a 2022 GSXR750 on the dyno.
Hello, why do they doubt the kid? I'm about to prove them all wrong again. I got a low tolerance, cause they don't even know what the problem is. It's me.
So we just noticed something when we were going over the bike, and this is why we kind of go over the bike. But look at this right here. This bolt is either cross-threaded in, or it's not in all the way, or something is going on with this bolt, but I can't turn it by hand. It might be just cross-threaded in there, but we'll have to check on that, because if that comes out and drops, it has the potential to get picked up by the drum, hit the tire, what have you, and then sling back over here and do some problems. So we're gonna make sure that this is good to go before we start dynoing. But all in all, it has a CS Racing exhaust system. Now, this is kind of like a tailor-made exhaust system. I don't know if you guys, TaylorMade, I believe, went out of business, but they made these little side pipe exits with the little cover and everything for Honda. It's like the CBR 1000s and some of the ZX10s and Gixxers. I've tuned quite a few back in the day, the TaylorMade exhaust systems. So the CS Racing is something similar. They kind of have like this muffler that they built to kind of clean up the sound. So it's not necessarily like a cat, but there's still it's still a chamber that you gotta fill, and it does kind of disrupt your airflow. So back when I was originally tuning the TaylorMade, I would always have this like real laggy spot right in the mid-range, low end going into mid-range. It'd be this big like dip in the power curve. So I'm really curious to see if that happens with this exhaust system as well. I haven't really tested this. He is very high on oil. Yeah, that thing's way overfilled. But anyway, yeah, so this is a full exhaust system. So we'll see. We'll see what this produces, and we're gonna look and we're gonna analyze that graph. But my prediction is that since he has this chambered muffler here, that we're gonna have a little bit of a low spot or a dip or something in the power curve, probably around that 7,000 RPM, range roughly. So I would guess to say it's gonna be around that 7K mark. So, but we'll see. Hopefully he doesn't. Hopefully I'm able to tune it out. But that's typically what I saw with those TaylorMade exhaust systems. But all in all, guys, I love doing these bikes. I normally get about 132, this one might get around 130 out of it. So if I can get that, I'll be happy. It'll be great. It'll be plenty for this, plenty for the street. These are some of my favorite bikes to tune. They tune really well, and they have great balance. They have great power to weight ratios. These are awesome bikes. So can't say enough good things about the GSXR750 platform. So they just need to do a facelift. Other than that, that just needs a facelift. Other than that, it's a solid bike, and maybe a new cluster. They need to get with the times on these. But other than that, man, this is a great power plant. For those of you who have the 750, you got a great bike. These things are a ton of fun. Alright guys, I have already ran this bike a handful of times. We have a base map in there already, but there's something that I wanted to point out to you guys specifically. And I will show you on the graph here in just a second. But this little modification, now he didn't mean to modify it. This is just kind of how these ASV levers came. I don't know if these are the right levers or not. I don't know ASV that well, but notice right under here, that plunger for the clutch safety switch here, this clutch switch, it's called a clutch perch switch right here, okay? It's underneath your clutch lever. Your OEM lever has a little block that when you pull in the clutch, that block comes off of, that plate rather, comes off of this plunger, and it allows the plunger to open so that you can start the bike, all right? It's a safety switch. When you release the clutch lever and it comes out, that plate is supposed to push this clutch perch lever here, this switch, it's supposed to push that back in, all right? This little sensor right here plays a vital role with the ECU and your injectors and your timing. There is a secondary map in this bike that's called the neutral safety map. It's a neutral map, okay? That's how we enable your 2 steps, your launch controls, things like that. It's all driven off of this sensor up here, along with some other things, but primarily this is the main sensor that controls it, okay? If you guys do the delete, the neutral safety delete, you will leave the map in neutral. It will not spray your upper row of injectors. You will run a different ignition timing based map. It's not good for the bike. It leans it out, and pretty much you're gonna create some problems sooner rather than later. So for right now, I'm gonna have to tell this customer, I'm gonna have to go over everything with him and tell him this. And I'm gonna show you guys what it looks like on the map with this engaged and disengaged. So right now I just kind of fabbed up I kind of made up a little switch here, just plug this in basically. These are 2 grounds. So when you pull this in, it disconnects those grounds. So the circuit is now open. And then when you close it, the circuit is complete. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna use this as our little clutch switch. So just for right now, because the customer, again, he does not have that piece in the back here. So if anything, I'll talk to him. I'll see if he wants us to install this somewhere. Realistically, if it were me, I would just fix this and get this working correctly like OEM. So that way you don't have to really worry about it. You can go back to like an OEM setup and drive the bike like normal and don't have to worry about it. But I'll leave that up to him, but it's very vital that we get that switch working correctly. And I'll show you guys here exactly why. So notice right here, we're working on the map. We're at 130 wheel horsepower currently, 129 to 130. It's kind of dancing around it. Air fuel's looking pretty damn good, pretty solid, but if you notice, we're pretty close to that 130 wheel mark now. But here's what I really wanted to show you guys. Basically, let me take off where we're at currently, and I'm gonna show you guys after fixing that switch. So here we go. Notice here, this is how the bike came in, was that red line. It made 116 wheel with 50 pound-foot of torque, okay? After running the bike for a little bit, kind of tinkering with some stuff, I realized that we were stuck in that neutral map, and I was like, wait a second. So after doing that, we got our new baseline here, which we're gonna relabel it, but the new baseline laid out almost 123 wheel horsepower. So we picked up about 6-7 horsepower and 2 pound-foot of torque just from fixing that switch, okay? So notice up here, we're picking up almost 8 horsepower at the big end up here just from switching, making that switch work correctly. No tuning. No tuning on this map. There was no tuning on this map, okay? This blue line technically is the new baseline after just fixing the mechanical flaw, this electrical flaw. We picked up 8 wheel, all right? So big power jump just from fixing that switch. Now we made even more, and now we're up to, 129 to 130 range. So we're already picking up another solid 8 wheels. So technically from the time he came in until now, we're up 13.5 horsepower at that big end. So this is gonna be a huge gain for this guy. Even if it ends here and we don't make any more power, that's a massive gain already where we're at. So I'm still working on the map. We're still trying to get it figured out. I'm almost near the end of it all, but I just wanted to show you guys that before I completed this, and we'll go over the final numbers here at the end, but I just wanted to show you guys that massive jump just from fixing that neutral safety switch. So if you're out there riding around, a lot of the track guys do this because they don't want to bother with the safety switches, and I get it, but if you guys are deleting it out on the track, you're costing yourself a lot of power. So you're welcome. But let's get it going. We're gonna keep chipping away here. We're gonna keep getting this tune mapped up and getting it dialed in. Like I said, we're getting pretty close now. Air fuel's looking pretty good. Ignition timing, we're pretty much there. There's not much more I can do. But all in all, nice linear curve too, by the way. This does not have that slouchy spot like that tailor-made exhaust system. So usually it's right here that I would see like kind of a dead spot. We'd lose some torque and then it would come back. So this one's flowing a lot better than the tailor-made, and we're still up there on power. It's really not bad. I normally make about 132 out of these things, but we still got to do a few more, like I said, a few more little odds and ends in the ECU, and we'll see where we can end with it. So another thing, and some of you guys already know this, but our ECU flashes and dyno tunes come with a complimentary chain and sprocket cleaning. So you notice here how it's kind of looking. I mean, it doesn't look too bad. This one at least has some chain lube on it, but it looks like the original chain lube from when the bike was brand new. So we're gonna clean this all up, and at the end of the dyno session, we're gonna spray a fresh coat of chain lube on it. And so that way before he takes the bike and goes, at least it'll be nice and clean and lubed up. But we'll shoot the after effects so you guys can kind of see. And like I said, this is a new bike, so it doesn't look that bad. Some of these guys that come in here, these chain and sprockets are absolutely nasty looking. So also keep an eye right here in between the teeth. A lot of this grunge buildup, that actually causes horsepower loss because you're increasing a lot of friction there. So we're gonna clean this all up. We're gonna get it nice and clean, spick and span, and keep going on the tuning session. We got the chain and sprocket all cleaned up. So it's basically lubricated with just the cleaner right now. But when we get done with the dyno session, we go through and we actually lubricate it with the chain lube. And but I just wanted to show you guys an example though. This is kind of what we do at the end of it all here. Now again, this was fairly new, but now the chain looks absolutely brand new again with a little bit of elbow grease and some cleaning. So anyway, we're gonna keep running the bike on the dyno here. We should be done basically with this map, and we should be wrapping up the bike after this map. So let's see what it lays out for the final numbers and go from there. Alright guys, we finally got that GSXR750 all wrapped up today, and I just wanted to go over the numbers with you guys really quickly and show you guys the steps and the levels of the progression today. And wow, what a difference today is going to make for this guy. He's going to be blown away. Let's go over the numbers. So just like before, as I was showing you guys, after fixing that clutch switch, the neutral safety switch, basically that clutch perch switch, we're able to pull this thing up to about 123, actually, I'm sorry, 123 was the new baseline after fixing that switch. 52 pound-foot of torque. Final numbers, actually we were able to get 133 out of it and 56 pound-foot of torque. And now the red line is our final right there, and if you want, what we can do is actually compare it to how he came in. Okay, let's compare to how this bike is coming in. So he picked up damn near, let's see, 17, almost 17 wheel horsepower jump for this customer just from fixing that switch and then giving him a proper tune. Not only that, but we had a 6 pound-foot of torque increase here at this upper RPM. Mid-range, we also have massive gains down here in the mid-range area. So at 9,000 RPM, he picked up a solid 10 wheel horsepower and a good about 6 pound-foot of torque. So, you know, to give you a reference point, guys, I mean, typically 6% rate of change is kind of like, wow, I feel this. This is a pretty big difference. This, in regards to this, he's dealing with more of like an 11, probably like a 12 to 13% rate of change here in this lower RPM. Same thing with that upper RPM. You know, he's probably still in that same field, about, you know, 15, 16 wheel, yeah, probably about 12% rate of change or so. Yeah, so he's up there. So this is going to be an amazing feeling bike now. I'm gonna show him about the clutch switch. I'm gonna walk him through all that. Realistically, he needs to get either the correct lever, that clutch lever, or we need to make something up for him. We need to make a switch or something that he can utilize. So that way that bike is no longer going into that safety switch, that safety mapping whenever he is running. But this video right here, I really wanted you guys with the Suzuki GSXR platform to take it to heart, because I see this a lot. It's not as common as what it used to be back years ago when that mod first came out, but it is still pretty prevalent today. There's still quite a few Gixxers out there that run into the same issue that I see every now and then on track bikes or street bikes. But again, guys, I hope this really helped you. If it has given you some kind of value, please like and subscribe to the channel if you could, you know, to see future videos that give you more information such as this. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Give me some feedback. Let me know down below what you think about the CS Racing exhaust. I think it's pretty trick, and it's not a bad power curve all in all. So it's pretty clean. So I think the exhaust is actually okay. I think it's pretty good. But leave some feedback down below. Tell me what you think about it. Tell me what you think it sounds like, if it sounds good or whatnot. But yeah, just leave some comments down below. Leave some love. We love you guys. We appreciate you guys. We'll see you on another episode.